Hello beautiful souls, it's Karen at Soul Magic 99 and I'm doing a pick a pile reading, but it's going to be in two different videos, okay, because I want to do 4 piles and I can only record so much on this phone. So pile 1 is Aries. These are just the cards that wanted to come out, so they're both fire, and the pile 2 is Sagittarius. So this is your divine masculine energy, because the reading is, why is there no contact from my divine masculine at this time? So we're going to just have a look at that, okay? So pick your pile. Is your masculine Aries or a Sagittarius? If it's not fire, the next video will have 2 different sun signs on it, so check that out, okay? So we'll get on with the messages. So we start off with Aries. So why no contact? So here's Aries. So we've got some tarot. So we've got the 4 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords, 8 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, Page of Wands, King of Wands, and the Fool. So there's definitely a lot of passion here for you, which you would expect obviously from fire sign. And we've also got the Pentacles. So I do think your masculine is busy working on his finances right now. He wants to get to the 10 of Pentacles. He wants to have that abundance, and possibly is only at the 4 of Pentacles maybe at the moment, because we've got progression from the 4 to the 10 here. He definitely does want to move forward. We've got the 8 of Wands and the Page of Wands and the King of Wands. He does want to give you a passionate message. But again, we've got the 4 of Swords. So I do think he's going through a healing process at the moment. Once he comes out that healing process, if he's in a position of financial stability, I do feel he's going to want to come forward to you, or at least send you a message, a passionate message, and at some point he does want a new beginning with you, because we've got the Fool card here, okay? So he does want a new beginning with you at some point, but he's just not in the right place in his mind or finances. There's a lot of passion here but no cups, okay? So maybe he needs to do this healing work to get more in touch with his feelings. He has those passionate feelings for you, but he needs to work on his healing a bit more, I think, before he's ready to come forward. So what else? What else is going on? We've got courtship. So he does want to, when he comes forward, he does want to court you. Which is an old-fashioned term. He wants to take you out on dates and do it properly as a gentleman, just take you out on these dates, wine and dine you, take you out for nice evenings. He wants to be the gentleman. And we've got great fortune, so we saw that he's working on his finances. He wants to be financially stable. He wants to get to that 10 of Pentacles. And I know that's not important maybe to you feminines, but this is how he feels about his self-esteem, about his self-worth. He wants to feel that he's in that position, that he can be a provider, even if you don't need him to be. For his own self-esteem, he wants to be in that position. So what else is he working on? Yeah, he's busy with other people. He's got family situations, friend situations, and obviously work. He's very tied up with work at the moment. He may be feeling a bit depressed, as we've got the 4 of Swords there. And he's working on his healing. He's working on his self-worth at this time. And he needs to, work on these issues and feel more deserving of love. He could have had a Tower moment as well, where he realised that his life wasn't exactly as he wanted it to be, and Spirit does that sometimes to make people make changes in their lives that are needed. He does desire his feminine, and he wants to be with her very much, and we can see that in the tarot. He's very passionate. He wants to meet up and have that intimacy with you again. He feels this soul deep love recognition with you. He's been feeling hurt, angry, sad, and I don't think it's just over this connection. I just feel it's over everything that's happened to him in his life so far. maybe it all built up, and that's when we had the tower moment, everything came crashing down, because he'd been withholding all his emotions, he hadn't been feeling his feelings, and, you know, he needed to heal himself and work through those issues. I do feel the moon cycles affect him. Maybe he has got some water in his chart, even though he's fire, could have Cancer moon or something like that, or Cancer in his chart, and he's very much affected, and he's been meditating, he's been going within, trying to connect with his higher self to get that inner knowing, that clarity. And when he met you, he was wearing a false mask. He wasn't being true about how he really felt about you. I'm not saying he lied to your face, but he withheld a lot of information, and he didn't tell you how he was really feeling at that time. Yeah, he's torn at the moment, indecisive, he's got inner battles. I mean, we've got the Four of Swords there. So he's going through this, like, dark night of the soul energy. He's distracting himself with work, and he's still uncertain, but he's, you know, passionately drawn towards you, the feminine. Yeah, he's got, as we saw, you know, he's got strong sexual urges towards his feminine, you know, that animalistic desire, like, you know, come in and just have his way with you. He just feels so much desire. But he's waiting because he knows it's not ready, and he's given it over to divine timing, to fate. He's, you know, asked for assistance on that. He doesn't feel ready, and he's hoping that the universe will step in and bring you together when the timing is right. That's interesting. So what else we got here? We've got commitment. I think your person was actually a commitment phobe. He may, you know, that might be why he was wearing a false mask. I do feel maybe he wasn't ready for commitment at that time, and he didn't feel that he was ready to commit to anybody. But moving forward, I think he's, like, looking at that in a different way again. He's looking at that in a different way, and he needs to commit to himself as well. And I don't feel he was committing to himself, his own life and his own dreams. And he needs to do that before he can commit to anybody else. Connection. He does feel this deep connection with you. You know, and you may have been in separation for some time and no contact for some time, but you're still heavily on his mind, in his thoughts, his feelings, his dreams. You probably connect telepathically. You probably, you know, meet on the 5D, and it's blown him away because he's never known anything like it, basically. He has curiosity about it, you know, about everything to do with this connection and about you. There's so much more he wants to discover about you, and he is curious, you know, and not just in a passionate way. He wants to know everything about you. Yeah, abundance. So he's waiting for his abundance. He wants to be abundant before he comes forward. And that's why he's so busy working on his finances right now. He does want to come forward with the truth and admit his feelings, and that he didn't, you know, he wasn't honest about that at the time. And he hopes that you can be truthful with him as well. He's trying to find time to relax when he's not working, because he's been very stressed out, very anxious. We saw that very down, very low. And the tendency is to work too hard, isn't it? And then you become a hyper and you can't relax or rest. I do feel he's having trouble sleeping, and he needs to try and relax more. Maybe go for a swim or something like that, as we got the mermaid here. Maybe go for a swim in the ocean, or go to a spa or somewhere to be able to chill himself out. So how does he see his feminine at the moment? He sees you as a very individual person. You're very creative. You might be a quirky dresser. You're just very unusual, you know, somebody so different from his normal type of person, you know. I'm not saying you're not attractive or beautiful. He does see you as that. But you're just maybe a bit quirky. And he sees how creative you are, and he's, from afar, he's been watching you, how creative you've become. He sees you as like rising, you know, you're rising in your power, in your creativity, in your femininity, and he's watching from a distance, and it's amazing to him what you are achieving in your life, and he is so proud of you. He wants you to know that. He sees you as an earth mother. You could be someone who is a earth sign, maybe Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or you're just somebody very in touch with nature and animals and the environment. Maybe you're an environmental activist or something like that. You're somebody that cares deeply about the planet, and again, he really admires that about you. It's got selfish here, but I think what it is, he sees your independence. You're a very independent person, and he wonders if you're actually somebody that does even want a relationship. Are you somebody that actually even needs him? He feels you don't really need him. He feels anger. He feels some anger coming from you. Maybe some of you have been angry about the lack of connection, the lack of contact, the time of the separation. If you resonate with that, if you are feeling angry, try and release that, try and forgive that, you know, in yourself and in the masculine. Forgive this, release these feelings, because he'll be able to come towards you. You know, if you release this anger and you soften your energy and you become more loving, more healing, more receptive to things, if you truly want to be back in, you know, connection with him, try and release that anger, that rage. Okay, that's more about you, you know, your issues as a feminine than what he's done. Okay, it's wrong what he's done, he's hurt you, but you need to work through that and release and forgive. Okay, yeah, so work on your own self-love. You know, you'll have a healthy love for self, have that self-respect, that self-esteem moving forward. And again, you know, you are working on that, I know, and he will feel this as well about you once you've done that, if you have that self-love, and that will help him as well to work on his issues as well. So some guidance for the masculine here. We've got healing. Yeah, we can see he's going through some healing. We've got the beautiful green of the heart chakra here. So I do think he is starting to open his heart, you know, to give and receive love again. He may have been closed off when you met him because of heartbreak, and you may have been closed off as well. So, you know, he needs to do the healing work to calm himself. We saw relax, release and have peace, you know, release any hurt feelings, anger, frustration, you know, forgive yourself and others. Find that inner peace. Freedom, have that soul freedom to be yourself. I do think some masculines are people pleasers in their own lives. They may have strong family members who've really guided them or controlled them even to have a life that they wanted but couldn't achieve, and they've guided the masculine into the life that they couldn't have for themselves. This happens a lot with people. But the masculine needs to realise, you know, and think through what is it he really wants for himself, what life. Is he happy in his life? Is he happy in the choices he's made? Because he doesn't have to stay stuck. It says release ties from the past. You don't have to stay stuck. You know, release ties to people that are no good for you, or situations that are no good for you. Set yourself free. Be free to be the person you are in this world. Be free to be what you want to be in this world. And we've got love. He has love in his heart, okay, he's working on that. He has passion, we saw that. He's working on the unconditional love, and he needs to have that for himself first. And he wants that togetherness with you, he really does. Okay. So let's just get some timings when you might, if there's any change in this moving forward. Some advice from the angels for you. We've got there's something better. So that could be just about the fact that where you are now, you know, there's something better for you right now, okay? Look for a sign. and we've got within the next few weeks. So you could be hearing something within the next few weeks from your masculine. Okay, there are your messages, pile 1. I hope that resonated for some of you. Take care. I'll go to pile 2 now. Hello, pile 2. You chose another fire sign, Sagittarius. So let's get your tarot. We've got 8 of water, Queen of water, 10 of air, patience, justice, and 2 of fire. So there's a lot of water here. So 8 of water, 8 of cups, possibly your masculine walked away from this situation, okay, because at the time it wasn't what he was looking for, or you could have walked away because things were not working out at that time. You both weren't in a position to be ready. The Queen of water, that could be you. You could be a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. You know, you are that nurturing, loving queen, full of emotion, full of abundance. With the 10 of air, you know, that's 10 of swords. He's possibly going through a bit of a dark night of the soul. You know, he's going through that painful time, the dark time, depression, anxiety, sleepless nights, worries. You know, he's going through as part of his healing work. We've got patience here. You know, patience is needed in this connection, you know, and she's got a clock on her. So it is, I'm going to say it, divine timing. But justice will be served, okay, justice, and we've got the 11 on this, the twin flame numbers, so justice will be served at the right time. And then we've got 2 of fire here. So, you know, again, weighing up the pros and cons of this situation. So no decision has been made with regard to him at the moment, because obviously he's going through a 10 of swords, but obviously he's nearly at the end of that now. So what else is happening here? Change. So he may be going through a lot of changes in his life. He may even be moving home, possibly for some of you. Changing careers, changing locations. So there's a lot of change going on in his life, okay? And again, we've got occupation. So he's maybe working really hard and focusing on his job at this time, you know, focusing on making money, you know, to distract himself maybe from this 10 of swords energy and to just focus on the work. So what else is happening? Yeah, he found, you know, your connection. It was amazing sexual chemistry between you. And, you know, when you first met, he didn't realise where this would all lead. He didn't know anything about divine feminines or divine masculines or anything like that. He thought you were just going out for a simple drink. Little did he know. When I close my eyes, all I see is you. So you're constantly on his mind, and that's why I think he's working so hard, and he's totally throwing himself into his work, because if he stops, you know, the minute he shuts his eyes, or even if he doesn't shut his eyes, you're there in his mind, at the front of his mind, you know, in his dreams. He can't stop thinking about you. So he's withdrawn his communication, and there's been no communication. He's in his man cave at the moment. He's, you know, with the 10 of swords, we've seen his, you know, he's taken that recluse, you know, he's in that dark period, and he needs to go within and connect and do the healing work needed at this time. Yeah, the feelings he felt for you were so deep, and it just made him run, really. He just went, you know, we saw that it was him with the 8 of cups. He basically turned his back on it because he couldn't cope with it at that time. Yeah, you're kissing him in his dreams. You're in his dreams every night, you know, kissing each other. He knows work's needed on himself. He needs to work on his self-esteem. He needs to feel stronger emotionally, physically and spiritually. So he needs to do this work at this time, okay? Either you or him may contact each other out of the blue, though. There may be a text message, I feel, coming through, okay, very soon. Because they weren't being honest about how they felt. You know, they were overwhelmed. They didn't know what was going on. So they disappeared. They did 8 cups of it on you, and they went. They didn't want to at that time own up to anything. They're working on karma right now. They've got to release old patterns of behaviour, old relationships, old situations. They've got to release this karma before they come forward in their life, okay? So what else? Withered. He feels weak at the moment. As well, we've got the Ten of Swords. So he's not in a good place. He's not in a good place to start anything or be with anyone. He needs that alone time to just be in his own, lick his wounds, do his healing, you know, acknowledge his dark side. And you know, we all go into that, and he's in the man cave. We all need to withdraw at some point. And once he feels better, he will come back out. Dreamy. So yeah, he's dreaming about you. We saw that. Fantasizing, thinking about you a lot. That's why he's thrown himself into work, because you're constantly in his minds and thoughts. Haunted. He does feel a bit haunted by you. We've got the moon here in this image, and we just had the new moon, so that could be significant here. He's just reminded of you constantly. There may be signs. He may feel he's a bit obsessed with you. You know, which is like his feelings are overtaking him, basically. He doesn't know how to cope with that. So what else have we got here? Sensuality. So he sees you as a very sensual woman, you know, he's very aroused and very passionate about you, and he wants to have that with you again. He wants to feel that intimacy with you again, and he does think about that a lot. As we can see, he can't get you off of his mind. But he's worried about losing his freedom. He doesn't want to, you know, if he gets into a relationship, maybe a relationship he had once before, he felt trapped and caged like a lion or something. And he's worried that if he gets into a relationship with you, he will lose his freedom. He will be controlled in some way. Maybe his other partner was very controlling, and he doesn't know if he can do it. So he's worried about that. And he's working on getting the strength, you know, building up his strength. We saw that as well. He's working on building up his strength, you know, his inner strength, you know, to be brave, to admit to himself what it is he truly wants, to come forward with an offer maybe, to be honest, to be truthful, you know, to find that inner strength within him, to be brave, to just come forward and admit the truth. Love. So he does feel love for you. Okay, he does feel love in his heart for you. You may not have any sign of this at all, though, because he's kept it very much hidden. He wants to go back to those times when you first met and it was just fun and joyful and innocent dating. You know, he wants to go back, you know, have a chance to start again afresh. He wants you to have patience. I think that came up in here somewhere. He wants you to be patient with him, you know, to give him the time to heal and work on himself so that he's truly the man you deserve when he comes forward. Yeah, he has those deep feelings for you. He really does. And he wants to share them with you when he feels stronger and when he feels ready to do so. He's been dreaming of you. That's been confirmed quite a few times. So he's constantly dreaming of you. You may be dreaming of him too. You may connect in your dreams and in the 5D realm, okay? So how does he see you? Maybe he feels that you procrastinate. Maybe you're a bit of a procrastinator. Or maybe this is him procrastinating over this situation. And because he did, he just walked away. Okay, he just walked away because he didn't see the truth of it at the time. He just wonders how can you be, you know, together? Can you teach each other anything? He feels that you have so much knowing and so much spiritual wisdom, and he's not sure if he can teach you anything. Is there anything he can teach you? But there is always more to learn, and you can learn from each other, and there will be so much to learn from your different life, your different ways of being in the world. So there will be so much more to learn from each other. He sees you as an animal lover, someone who connects with animals. You may be so loving of animals more than humans. Maybe you've got a lot of pets or something. Again, you're compassionate. He feels you have a big loving heart and that you're there for anybody, people or animals. He sees you as brave, fearless. You go for things, you just go for things, and he's, really impressed by that. He sees that you have a deep connection to the divine, you use your intuition, you connect to the universe, you speak about your angels, your spirit guides, which might be all out of his comfort zone. He sees you as very nurturing, loving, caring, kind woman. Maybe you're a healer, or you've helped heal him at some point, and he's felt your healing energy when he's been in your presence. So let's get some advice for the masculine. Playfulness, inner child. So he may need to do some inner child healing here, but he also needs to find that joy. He's working too hard. He needs to find that joy, that playful energy. Go to the park and sit on a swing. Go to the park, go on a slide. Go to the coast, kick a ball around, build a sandcastle. Find that fun times, find that inner child within you and have fun to lighten your load. Make a commitment to yourself to be true to who you are in this world and to trust yourself, because you do have the power and knowledge within you. You could be very much lacking in female energy. Obviously, we all need to balance our masculine and feminine. Okay, and this masculine may be very much in his masculine, and maybe he needs to balance it more of his female energies. He could have had trouble with a female figure in his life. It could be an ex-partner or his mum himself. There could have been issues there that he needs to work on, and this is connected to the inner child healing. Okay, so let's get some final messages from angels. Some final advice here for this pile. Says don't stop. So that song came to my mind, don't stop believing. Don't stop believing in this connection. Don't stop believing that things will work out. Improving health. So he's going to be improving his health, and maybe you are as well, feminine. So work on that. And there's going to be an opportunity for abundance. Look at that, beautiful abundance coming in. Okay, so that's a beautiful message. So that's your messages part 2. So if neither of these are for you, check out my second video, where there'll be 2 more piles for you, but it's goodbye from this video. So many blessings, take care.